What's up guys, Transfer here, and today have some more ranked gameplay for you guys. This is actually based on the newest patch in here in the duo with my friend Michael Scott here, who's playing as Corki. So I'm playing support, we're playing a dual lane here. And what you saw, this is a diamond with one master on our team. And the enemy team also has one master. So this is, I guess, mid-elo, kinda. It's kind of awkward right now, I think, with matchmaking, but sometimes you get some pretty decent games, sometimes it's kind of weird. But anyhow, let's get right into it. First things first, I start off taking sweeper. Basically just to see out any wall placements so that you can hide around. Alistar at level 1 is kind of shit, so I'm just gonna try not to take damage. So it seems like the enemy support has been leashing, so we just take this opportunity to do some free poke on the Akshan, and after that we're just gonna let it push towards us. Our Akshan is actually pushing the wave really quickly, so we're just gonna let it come over. Dodge as much poke as possible in the laning phase. It's gonna give us some advantage. Nothing happens so far. We're both pretty healthy at this point, and yeah, not too much of an issue. So Corki is one of those ADs that skill really well, like especially to late game. Benefits so much from the damage, and he has so much magic damage. So we realized that Lee Sin was coming around. Pantheon actually pinged, so he was trying to go for it. He was really low, not really in the status or situation to go. And so I'll try to help him out, but I realized that this is just me. Pantheon flashed out as well, so we have to leave. So that was not too good from our side. I had to burn a flash there, and Pantheon burned his splash as well. I don't think it was the best play on our side, because we didn't really have priority in this lane somehow, and Pantheon was already very low compared to Lee Sin. Plus he took phase rush, right? So you can't really duel with the Lee Sin. I guess phase rush. So it's a one-on-one here. Corki is down a level. A lot of poke coming out, but bear has been popped. So I'm trying to get to this Akshan right here, and gave first blood to the Corki. Very nice. A little bit bait on my Corki baited the Akshan a little bit because he was under 1 level, but since we knew that the Galio wasn't with them, so we just went for the engage. A little bit of stuff happening in mid lane, and this Galio decides to stop my back here, kinda annoying. I decided to go back anyway, but actually now that I think of it, I don't really have anything to go back for. Don't really have enough to get my Locket, so I can't really do much actually. So I decided, okay, maybe I don't have to go back. I'm pretty healthy still. Just gonna wait it out again. About 1 minute to the next objective spawn, when both Herald and Dragon will be coming out. It looks like these guys are posturing very aggressively. I'm gonna get taunted here. It's not a good thing actually. Engage on the wrong target, honestly, and I don't think Corki's gonna be able to clean up too much. Yeah, a little bit of a mistake on my end. I was trying to look for an angle. If I had gone onto the Akshan, probably would have done a little bit more. I'm not sure if we could have gotten the kill still, but anyhow, the Herald and Drake are spawning in about less than 20 seconds. So my friend Corki is gonna quickly shove out the wave. He's gonna back immediately, and his back's gonna get interrupted by the Lee Sin. Yeah, so this is what happens when you do a lazy recall, so to speak, right? You recall right in front of the opponent's face, near the objective, and now Lee Sin does get, he gets to get there first, which is not great. I do have my Locket, so it means we might have a chance here, but Corki is not here at all. Pantheon does jump in. He might be in trouble here. I'm trying to use my Locket and try to save him. Exhaust the Lee Sin. We get a kill. Galio goes down as well. Rhythm gets, Zeke gets a clean up, and double kill. Garen comes in the corner. Panther's gonna die. But overall, very nice fight for us. Even though we were in a so-called terrible spot, we did pick up quite a lot of kills, yeah, and we kind of negated quite a lot of the deficit we had early on. Even though it wasn't that much, we still managed to equalize it. And so basically, what I would like to say at this point really is, even though the enemy team had a pretty strong comp to contest with us at level 5, basically at the first dragon fight, or first fight, whatever they want to do, they did get a kill somehow. We're just gonna move to Herald, right? So personally, I think, yeah, somehow Pantheon stole the Herald. He's gonna try and run away now, and Phase Rush is actually helping him do that. That's very nice. Use my Locket just to shield this guy out a little bit and block out the action ultimate. So I was saying earlier actually that the fights around Dragon at 4 minutes are very crucial, right? Because this can really turn into either a snowball in your favor or in the enemy's favor, and there isn't really anything that's in between. Of course, unlike in that case, like the enemy team actually got the dragon, but somehow they gave us the kills, so that was a little bit different. But in general, if we are not very, let's say, confident in the pickoff, we should typically focus on Herald, you know, try and avoid like giving off too much advantage, especially if we are behind in terms of laning. Then it's definitely not a good idea to just go head on. Like in that case, actually, there was enemy capitalized pretty well because our Corki got caught basically in the recall spot. So that was well played by them. Exhausted this Lee Sin. Not really do much more. Good choice not to flash ball. We don't have any support on our team, but we did manage to force a flash. I mean, actually we didn't force anything, but we did do some decent pull. Unfortunately I had to use my exhaust there. Thought we could get a kill, not quite. But as of now, moving towards mid lane, there's not really much else to do, so we're trying to break a tower if possible. And a lot of stuff happening on the other side. Looks like Lee Sin has gone onto our Riven, but Pantheon is there as well, and Riven gets the kill. Flash out by the Riven. Garen comes in. I don't think Garen can get anything more than this. And the Garen's taken very low. They try to help him out. Unfortunately gonna die, but our team comes in for the cleanup, and this is very nice. A good follow up here. And you're gonna get quite a pretty decent skirmish over there. Actually, we might be able to take a tower if we decide to go for it. But Panther decides, okay, maybe not this time. So our team's just gonna reset. So at this point, we do have a slight lead over the opponent, which is very nice. Corki picks up his package just nice in time for our next objective fight here, the Dragon. Riven covered our top lane very nicely as well. And looks like a 1v1 with Lee Sin. Already forced out the ultimate from the Lee Sin, very nice for us. And Lee Sin's at half HP. He is in not too decent shape to contest the Dragon. So what we can really do is to actually go for Dragon. And our Corki decides to do 1v1 with Akshan, and we did manage to get it. Pantheon drops the Herald into mid lane. I don't think we'll get the tower here, but a lot of damage is gonna come in. But Pantheon's already moved in here, and we're going for the Dragon. So here we're just using the Herald as a distraction, trying to force them to go and deal with it. So I'm trying to, you know, distract them. Lee Sin comes around. I exhaust the Lee Sin. A lot of us take a damage from the Oriana Shockwave, but we're gonna be okay. We did manage to get what we want, and we're just gonna leave. So our lead is still there, and that's really good for us, obviously. When we are ahead, we try not to, you know, fight like you know, unnecessarily. Our idea is to try and preserve this lead as much as possible, and we're only gonna contest when we know that we have a very clear shot. That's how we try and hold the lead as much as possible. Because if you fail, like let's say one time, you might lose this lead completely, or it might turn in the favor of the opponent, which could be a huge deal that you don't want to do. You can see on our team, Corki and Zeke That means my dual lane as well. The mid lane has been doing really well with 2 completed items, Essence Reaver and Solari Charge Play on Corki, Luden's Echo and Rabadon's Death Cap on Zeke. Here we're gonna try and look for a catch on Garen. Not really gonna happen though, and take quite sizable amount of damage. It looks like the team wants to engage. Zeke's bomb comes through, doesn't land. Riven walks right into it. Not a great idea. And I'm too low to do anything, unfortunately. But the fight continues. Our team's still going for it. We aren't focusing on the right targets. Everyone's hitting different people. And that was not a good fight for us. So you can see how immediately it just turned against us. We actually should have just backed off after trying to fight off the Garen. We didn't manage to kill him. Should have just left instead. And now because of that, the enemy team will immediately go for Herald and we cannot contest that. So now the gold difference is actually really small again. So once again, no more objectives on the map, really. But both teams haven't taken out any tower, so it's really tight. We're really trying to break something open on any of the lanes. I mean, ideally in the mid lane because it opens up to enemy jungle in many ways, but it hasn't really been happening. And since Corki is kind of okay on his own, we just let him do his own thing. I can protect this Zeke here. Gargoyle forced by the Galio. And we do manage to burst out the mid lane, which is very nice. So we actually can go for an engage here. I'm a little bit low, but waiting for the engage coming in. We force onto the Galio because he doesn't have the Gargoyle anymore, and I exhaust the Akshan. Huge shockwave comes through on the Orianna. That's gonna hurt. And try and leave as much fast as possible. Garen misses the ultimate onto me, but a spin comes through and he comes for the cleanup. Corki is trying to do as much as he can, and he does get the kill, but that was not ideal for us somehow. We did manage to get Galio first, but the Orianna shockwave was a huge deal. You can see how a lazy recall once again gets Corki killed. So very crude reminder to everybody. Try not to, or at least please move into a safe spot before you recall. I mean, this is just, this is unnecessary tempo loss. Now the Orianna is 216, 9,700. Lee Sin is 96. See, the gold advantage is now in favor of the enemy team again. So a lot of back and forth right here. And the next objective is spawning very soon, the Ocean Drake. Our team's definitely gonna look to move there. Corki's gonna pick up his package. And we're gonna move quickly and sweep the area. We do spot out the ward there. And just gonna group out the team. Try and find out where they are. We saw Garen bot. That's a good thing. So our team forced out a tower because we saw Garen's gonna trade in the opposite lane. And clear out the wave. Look for vision here. Use my ultimate just to tank up some damage. A lot of ultimate traded, a lot of damage traded onto me as well. But here comes Protector's Vow. Here comes how strong it is now. Corki does get hit by the ultimate or the Orianna again, but we do get a knockout onto the Galio. Should be able to get a kill. He uses Gargoyle. I'm focusing on the Akshan right here. He is the main target. And this was a relatively successful fight from us. Pantheon's gonna die, unfortunately, but it's very good for us still. Lee Sin is still alive. We can't do the dragon, but we know that this is just really awkward, and so so please don't do this. Of course, like limit testing is cool and all, but because of that thing, that was kind of awkward. The amount of damage from Orianna at this point is actually insane. Zeke has killed himself as well. So yeah, not good. Our Lee Sin is enemy Lee Sin is actually moving towards dragon. Not his chief. A lot of people are dead. I'm just gonna decide to just let it go. Really, Pantheon also has the same idea. Like after all this that's going on back and forth, We gave away a dragon. Crudely put, honestly, we had a chance there. Even though there was a Lee Sin, yeah. Anyhow, nothing much has changed since a few minutes ago. We're still slightly trailing. It's not a big deal, really. We're just gonna look for a good engage. And honestly, we want to look for something. We're moving around, posturing around Baron because that's the next objective. Corki is not really with us, and that's not a good thing because now you see that enemy knows that Corki is out there. Corki is been clearing the wave there. Enemy team is clearing our wards. So we're just calling, hey Corki, please join the team. We need to look for something here. So we're gonna move to Corki. Looks like they're pushing around. Riven is unfortunately gonna get caught. Basically, we're all like away, and the damage comes through. Riven's gonna die. Not good for us because the enemy team is gonna look for a Baron opportunity now. They'll try and back out as much as they can. Pantheon tries to go for something. This might not be the best idea. Pantheon does quite a lot of damage, and Lee Sin's Guardian Angel actually gets pumped, so it's really nice. So we're gonna just stack back here. Unfortunately, Pantheon is gonna take a lot of damage, and Garen's gonna get him. But we got the Garen, and after that extended fight, we are still in a pretty okay spot. The enemy team, we deterred them from actually taking Baron. And here comes the 1v or 2v2 so-called. The Corki versus the Lee Sin as well as the Guardian. And he gets a double kill here, so very nice. So you can see the amount of damage Corki has now that he has 3 items completed. So once again, we can't use the opportunity to go for any Barons because our jungle is dead. But so what we're gonna do right now is just try and maintain as much vision as we can, and you know, ensure our wave is in a good state. In general, it's been basically like back and forth stalemate from the start. Really, we're still on even spots. It's anybody's game at this point, so we have to be very careful. And it's gonna stay around the Corki. We don't have that much vision really, but we know we just gotta protect the Corki. He's basically the most fed member on our team alongside Zeke. So we had the opportunity to take the Scuttle, so obviously we're gonna get it. Helps us a lot with vision control. Our team looks to be gathering around. The enemy team is trying to look for engage. Garen looks to try and find an angle on the Ziggs here, and Corki uses his package to try and deny a little bit of a resource that we don't have right now. So Elder is going to be spawning very soon, in a bit actually, since we don't want to. Neither side is really willing to take the risk in terms of, you know, trying to open up the Baron or force Baron. We just kind of play it safe. I guess that's really, sometimes that's really all you gotta do and wait for the enemy team to make a mistake, right? So in ranked queue, typically, you know, there's a lot of mistakes everywhere. So we just gotta be careful, and at a crucial moment, just don't drop the ball, basically. A little bit of poke by these Ziggs, very annoying, but that's how the champion works. And ultimate landed by the Ziggs to try and poke up some damage. We saw at this point, Garen's actually split off from his team, so we're just trying to look out for a catch. But Akshan has used his ultimate, and that's where he's very vulnerable. Stays his top, he is very low at this point. It looks like a good opportunity for us to fight Gargoyle, pop onto the Galio. Garen comes to the corner. Ultimate by Oriana. You have to be careful here. I get executed by the Garen, but that doesn't matter. I am the tank, and the team fight continues. Lee Sin is very low as well. Unfortunately, Corki is gonna get killed. Double kill by the Ziggs, and he kills the Galio. And Pantheon takes down one himself as well. And now that was a pretty decent fight actually, because even though 2 of us got killed, the enemy team doesn't really have the tools to contest. They don't have a jungler, so our team's gonna go for the dragon here. Oh, this is gonna be kind of sketchy. So Guardian Angel immediately pops on the ribbon, and here comes the ultimate shockwave. Huge amount of damage here. And wow, this is so damn close. Imagine if Guardian Angel was popped on the Pantheon when the, when the dragon was at execution range. That would have been terrible. But that was an amazing kill. Good timing, and he held his ground. Fortunately for us, really. And we're in a good spot. We took the Elder Cloud Dragon, and it's gonna give us a very nice buff in terms of damage, just true damage on this itself. We're gonna melt everybody. So I'm just gonna look for the engage. I dodged the knockup, but we can definitely go for something here. The enemy team is not in a good spot to fight because they already have one down. We also don't have a Riven, but that's okay. We look for the engage already. And now with my full item slots, I have Protective Vow, I have Deadman, I even have Zeke. That's like that's a real privilege to have. Normally you won't even get to that point. But this gives me so much sustain when I go in alongside Aftershock. So I can basically just initiate on anybody except for maybe Garen and Galio, and we should be able to get a kill. So we can look for the opportunity again. It's yet another Baron dance. We spot Lee Sin in the corner. I'm gonna run after him. Gonna dive onto him immediately. Force out the Galio ultimate. We're gonna step back. That's all we need really. Galio flashes forward with all his W. And I come in as well, use my ultimate and going for the Lee Sin. That's all I really care about. He is the one forced into stasis. Corki gets the Garen. Lee Sin has nowhere to go. His Guardian Angel is gonna get popped. And we do get a kill onto the Lee Sin. So Riven actually on the other hand got a kill, even though he's gonna die. We got the Galio as well. And just nice Akshan comes around the corner. We're trying to look for the last kill here. And our team's like, okay, let's just go. So Panda goes in first. And stasis force. And we do manage to get a kill. So eventually, after a lot of back and forth, this is gonna be the end. We did manage to get a very nice ace right there, and all started, trying to go after the Lee Sin, force out the, jungler, and eventually, it's a great team fight win. So, GG, well played. That was a pretty close game on both sides. I would say we both had some pretty great moments, also had some errors that we had to take note of, especially in the cases of, let's say, recalls. You gotta be more careful where you recall. And then for pickoff wise, definitely when you observe the neutral objective spawning, try your best to move around with your team and not get isolated, because people are just gonna look for a pick, and once they look for a pick in mid to high elo, people are just gonna go for the objective. So you'll be throwing away tempo for your team, especially if you're leading, and then if you're behind, it's just gonna put you even further behind. So you can see in terms of damage, well, yeah, Ziggs does a lot. I mean, that's the nature of it. Ziggs did a really good job. Corki had quite a lot of good moments as well. And overall, it was a very close game, I would say. Well played on both sides, especially the early Drake fight. I think Lee Sin did a very good job onto our AD. He got a pick off and went for the dragon. We turned it around really by coming in hot after seeing that they were in no shape to fight after killing the Drake. We managed to turn on them, and there was a huge tempo swing back in our favor that kept us in the game. And afterwards, a series of back and forth really. But the last fight was really determined by the fact that the jungle item maker made a kind of a serious mistake. He was really isolated from his team, even though he was on the side of Baron. But he was forced, as in the Galio was forced to use the ultimate onto him. The whole team was too far away, and we baited out that huge ultimate, and they decided to force for the engage. Actually, at the point, I would think if I was the enemy team, we would just try and stay back and look for another opportunity, because other than that, we find a good opportunity because they had skills that were on cooldown. Galio didn't have his ultimate anymore. Our Lee Sin already took a bunch of damage, and then afterwards, that was a really good follow-up from our team, and we took it out one by one. So anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed this ranked gameplay. As always, I'll see you guys next time. This is Strang, so signing off.